Clone Man, too, playing a really good game. FaZe and Lastra, I mean, all of Skyfoxes still have that same potential in them. It's just about unleashing it.
Well, one thing I think that we can really kind of summarize all of that up with is Skyfoxes are playing good, Team Envy are playing great. And it doesn't matter what good is if the team that you're going up against is having arguably one of their best games in a very long time. Team Envy going to be switching over to something that's not goats. Hey, they know they're going to eat some gluten today. It looks like no longer gluten-free goats. We're going to have Team Envy on this Fisher. Yeah, with Fisher's in.
Man. I love this. Fisher wowed on main tank of all things last week. This time around, picking up the Hanzo. Gonna show Skyfoxes, take them to school, what real simple geometry is. Elivo on the Pharaoh this time, and actually, great hack right there. Sombra, often underutilized counter to Pharah's in there. It takes her out of the fight, much in the way that you would nullify a Diva. However, Elivo still, 30% up to that barrage. Is about to get right back into the fight, however, Buds shuts it down.
This is where Bud's had his Sombra moment last week, so he's going to be trying to recreate that. This defense doing a good job so far, but one thing is for sure, Bud's not charging this EMP nearly as fast as he did against Atlanta.
No, Team Envy playing very scattered right now. It's going to be hard for a Sombra to get on any single member, of course, although Crimzo did fall very early on. You're going to be searching for that Zen if you are a Sombra worth any kind of salt. So you got to be keeping an eye on the envious backline, who won't have much peel to speak of either, with Trill just on that Hammond. However, damage ultimates will make the biggest difference here.
Sorry. Speaking of salt, used to be more expensive than gold. Do you think it's a little bit more expensive than goats right now? We'll find out. Team Envy going to have that rocket barrage and not the EMP from Jaru. Looking at Buds and Jaru, they're completely even on this EMP right now, so we can expect both of them to happen at the same time. And then at that point, it's like, who had used their ults already before that second EMP comes through? Elivo has the rocket barrages 100% waiting for this EMP, because without those shields, it's going to be a lot harder for them to do anything. That Graviton Surge, in the business, we like to call those kinds of decisions unique.
Zoning.
Yeah, it's a unique zoning type of Graviton Surge. That's not what you want. It's worth it going to be popping in, getting Jaru out at the beginning of Goats. A lot of people said Sombra was not good in the comp because of that exact moment, but these Sombras have figured out a way, and so had Skyfoxes in this fight right here. Skyfoxes getting the defense. Team Envy had a little bit of an opportunity, but they're not going to take it.
Yeah, they couldn't quite cinch the deal right there, and such good play from Fissure on that Hanzo. You were listening to those dinks. He just didn't quite have the follow-through from the rest of his team to confirm those kills. So Jaru will stay with the Sombra, I would say, very wisely. Buds is nuts, and he will be hacking your backline. So you want to have an offensive option of your own. He's searching for that positioning.
Worthig has used the rally, so everyone is gonna not everyone actually, no one is getting armor right now. Skyfox is gonna launch their EMP, gonna grab 3. Crimzo is the most important one. EMP now coming from Jaru is gonna come out second. Neither EMP actually doing much, but the team of Skyfox is doing a little bit more following the EMP cooldown being done. Team Envy falling down once again, and Skyfox is looking good here on point A. However, they have struggled once that overtime clock does start.
That's kind of one of those classic Overwatch moments when you've been holding amazingly all game, and then suddenly overtime happens, and then you just give up that point A. A lot of pressure right there. Clone Man swapping onto the Winston, I would say wisely. You have some peel options. Crimzo, though, another good adaptation, picking the Moira. He is done dying first time and time again. However, this means Team Envy going to have a hard time engaging with any ultimates. None online, and no Matrix either. Ellie's hacked.
Clement has to use the jump to get out of the way. He's going to be going into the backline, actually. Let's see if he's going to get isolated, or if Team Envy are going to get tickled to death with this Tesla cannon. Skyfox, if you have a Graviton Surge, Mac is stunned. Lastro going to be using the Transcendence early on in this fight. EMP going to be coming from Bud's, going to knock 3, or going to take 3 out because of that hack. Crimzo still alive, though. While Crimzo is alive, and that choice helped, the rest of his team is unable to do the same thing as Clone Man, going to get another kill because of those fists. Skyfoxes are going to be holding Team Envy on point A. We talked about teams struggling on defense, and that is not what we're seeing right here, right now.
Oh, no. It's a new injection of confidence coming into Assault for Skyfoxes, and we can kind of take a look at the last Envy push with Jaru on Sombra. It felt obvious that they maybe hadn't practiced this composition as much as Goats, and were forced to adapt due to Skyfox's playstyle, because That coordination, not there. Jaru took himself out of the fight for so long, looking for that EMP. He was like, are we going in, guys? Are we going in? And by that time, Buds had already destroyed half his team.
Yeah, it's like when you're at a pool, right? And there's always that, there's always that person that puts that toe in, right? And it's like, yo, it's gonna be cold.
It's like
right? It's not. You're not gonna get used to it.
This is not a hot tub.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It will be chilly.
Just go in. Just get in the pool. And I think that's kind of what Jaru needed to do.
Sometimes you just gotta pull the trigger. I mean,
Dive
Team
head first.
Envy getting led by Trill and Eichenwald. You saw sometimes he just win it. You just go in, just charge in, drop the shatter, man. You know, and that might be Team Envy might be mind gaming themselves just a little bit right now. Good play from all of the DPS, but again, taken as individuals, no triple or quad DPS comp will be quite as strong as Sombra Goats in this meta right now. So you have to be thinking about that inherent disadvantage as you're playing into here, because if you give Buds enough time, he will have EMP, and he's going to use it.
Team Envy seem to be a part of the school that a lot of people are. Is like, if one team has a good Sombra Goats, you have to run that as well. Because if not, then you're just going to fall victim to EMP over and over and over again. But let's see if Team Envy don't care about that. They didn't care on control. And they didn't care on Eichenwald, which they won control pretty handily. So Team Envy going to be on the defense this time around, trying to match exactly what Skyfoxes did to them. No ticks allowed for Team Envy right here. Skyfoxes are going to be running that Goats, and so are Team Envy mirror. Oh, but Skyfoxes have that Sombra.
Buds, Casey McElwain making his way onto the objective. Where in the world is Casey McElwain? He's in the back line. What do you expect right here? Team Envy now sending some orbs their way, but they're already getting engaged upon by Skyfoxes. Clone Man getting taken low.
You saw exactly why that fight did not go well for Team Envy. And the reason, or for Skyfoxes there, was because, you know, you saw Clone Man's shield just go every which direction, and it didn't matter where he looked, he was taking damage regardless, and he goes down first, and so Skyfox's attack will follow. Remember, they only need the one tick, so this EMP is going to be absolutely enormous. Once it's there, they can wait. They can pretty much wait until overtime for this EMP to happen, because that's how you win a point, especially if you only need that one tick. Trill getting a little bit low, actually taken very, very low. If they're able to secure this kill, then it's an open point for Skyfoxes. Trill is somehow still alive. The supports are killing it right now for them. Ellie is stunned. Is that going to be a DMEC? Transcendence coming out too late for Jaru to stay alive, as Faye's going to take Jaru down. This is a 6v5 now with the EMP. There is no shield for Trill, but the sound barrier is going to follow right after. Good order coming from Team Envy. This could have been a lost fight even sooner than we're seeing right now. Is Team Envy giving themselves a shot to make some noise in this fight, but how much of a shot are they gonna get? It looks like it's only gonna be like a free throw. Skyfoxes in charge right here at the end of this fight. Team Envy gonna have to wish for a miracle.
Yeah, it's more like a half-court shot, Boop, I would say. Envy, they lose.
That's more apt.
They lose that brig right away. There's almost nothing you can do. I mean, I would give Skyfoxes the credit to burn through that trance. That focus fire was just so strong that there was very little that Jaru could do to keep himself alive. And you were just mentioning they have to keep weathering this offense time and time again. And any moment that EMP could come in and shatter all of their well-laid plans. Right?
Do you think that that was an example of we needed a Sombra of our own? If they had an EMP, would that have been a little bit more successful? Maybe, okay, like maybe if like one tick wasn't point A, right? If there was a little bit more, would it have been better to run a Sombra there?
Yes, because then you're playing a little more for the long game. As it was, you're betting by giving up, by say putting Jaru on Sombra rather than Brigitte, you're giving up, you know, a lot of what's already very obvious in front of you. Brigitte has Shield Bash, she has Flail, she has Inspire, she has so many great utility abilities. If you run a Sombra, you're betting that Jaru will get EMP faster than Buds. And sometimes that's not a bet that you're willing to take, you know, because we did see what Jaru provided, right? Buds could not go through that hallway. He always wanted to go, but that Flail was just too strong. He didn't want to deal with a Brig. Who would as a Sombra? However, that means that Envy, because EMP will come, that means that the onus is once again on you to push them back, to keep, you know, closing the door on all of those opportunities, taking that space, and you can't do it when Trill's bouncing between half and third health constantly.
Yeah, that last fight, you know, props to the supports for keeping Trill alive as long as they did, but unfortunately I think enough damage had been done already on that Reinhardt. When all of the cooldowns were gone, he was still remaining at half health. And then Ellie got stunned and then demeched, and things just fell apart from there. But I think this is the first time all series we've seen a weakness from Envy, and it's like when they're not creating the tempo, they're struggling a little bit. And that's not something that was even a question in our first 2 maps. And all of a sudden, Skyfoxes take flight, and they just take Envy down, holding them on point A. No ticks on HamTornado.
That's not something you see all the time. HamTornado is really one of those maps where you expect to give up point A and are thinking most of the times about, well, what ultimates can we save for B?
Yeah.
Different, though, on Rialto, a completely new story. The land of right corners, no points to attack. It's all escort. So as long as you can keep the momentum on your side, that cart rolling, you're doing golden.
Yep, I think this is arguably maybe the hardest A and B in terms of escort maps out there. And that's the reason why we don't really see C very often. And when we do, it's always like a really awesome last fight here at the very end.
Remember when Rialto was first released, the stat was like it's 40% finish rate for attacking teams. That's nuts. Usually we think about hybrid maps being very defensively focused, but you know, here on Rialto, you definitely also have to think about the snowball, even though we are in sunny Italy.
Team Envy could be running a Bastion. Bastion has been known to appear here on Rialto. Not as natural habitat, you know, we're introducing him to more environments, how you save, you know, the wildlife around here. Team Envy gonna be switching off, of course. Team Envy gonna be rocking goats, so are Skyfoxes. Cloudman must have gotten a really good fire strike off, as he's already close to 20%.
Yep. Hey, if you know which way they have to walk, or if they, just camping, looking to see what they're bringing there in that third position view with the brig.
Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
Hey.
My name's Orthic. I'm new for this team right now, and I've been really good in Europe before. Let's see if it's going to continue here for Skyfoxes.
That's exactly what he sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually, that's what he sounds like when he sings, too.
Oh,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Learning channel, folks.
Yeah, but it's that European accent. Team Envy is going to get a little bit of trouble with Trill being hacked, but right now they're just trying to figure out how to make it onto the payload. Once you enter a courtyard, it's so hard for these attacking teams to get back onto the payload. This is such a wide open space, and there's so many good defensible positions for Skyfoxes to take up, but right now they're going to give most of it away. The easiest is actually right at the end, and so let's see if they're going to let it go there. Is Fisher going to be getting that first kill, so maybe they're not even going to get an opportunity for a defense here on Rialto. You really want to take a lot of time off the clock on this first point. So now the question is Skyfox going to be able to come back? It doesn't look like it, even though the defensive spawns are quite close.
What a great stun right there to take Clone Man out, body him away from the rest of his team. Shatter! Oh, and then EMP!
Yeah, so the EMP going to be going down onto Team Envy. A bunch of them are hacked, but right now just trades. They stopped him right before they were able to capture the point, so this is good news for Skyfoxes, who now feel safe in investing these ultimates. There is a Graviton Surge coming from both sides, and Team Envy going to find a little bit more value off of theirs, and Trill is an absolute monster, my friends. Double fire strike kill. Whew, that's nice.
Good move from Fisher, too. You saw that he himself was caught in the grab, but recognized, hey, I think we're going to live through this, man. Let's drop that grab, throw Trill in there, and he's at his most natural when he's swinging his hammer. So Envy have bought themselves a point A at great time bank and positioning as well. You want to abuse this high ground. It's so easy to hold around the corner on the low ground right here. He wants to get just a little bit of damage, just scare them away, maybe make them think about it as they round the corner. Bud's only 40% up to that EMP, and Skyfoxes need it. They have no diva to really mitigate the damage in the front line, so they have to be making things happen with the supports.
Man, I am loving watching Trill right now. Look at this. He knows exactly what he is doing with this character, making things happen, swinging at the right time, holding up the shield at the right time. Team Envy winning this fight at the right time, too. They're going to be able to round this corner. Let's see what Skyfoxes are going to be able to do on their second defense here on Streets.
Trill plays Reinhardt the way that I think many great Tracer players play Tracer, right? You know exact limits of this hero. I can blink this far and still be safe. I can charge in, I'll still be safe, right? Like, he knew he was going to win that fight against Clone Man, win and aggressive. Now both of them will have the Earth Shatter at the ready, but Buds has the ultimate wild card. EMP is up.
Playing those percentages for sure. Let's see what happens. Buds is going to not get knocked down on this Earth Shatter. Oh my goodness, Trill. 4 members from Team Envy are hacked. Fisher goes down, but not before Trill takes down 2 to start things off. As Cloudman going to have to sacrifice himself to take Trill down with that pin into the environment. Skyfoxes, this defense is crumbling. just to put things into perspective, 4.5 minutes for this last point is an eternity.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that, Clone Man. You won the duel. That's all that matters, right? That's what I tell my teams.
The history books say you won the duel, right?
Exactly, exactly. But Buds, you saw what happened right there. No value from the EMP. Skyfoxes was already split piecemeal. Nobody was there for the follow-through, and though once again it was well positioned, nothing to it.
Sound barrier from Team Envy, keeping everyone alive. Trill getting first blood once again, and rightly ceding a little bit more of that space as he sees Skyfoxes giving it to him. So why not just let the payload move? Now he's got a little bit more protection. His shield is going to be a little bit healthier, so he can do that all over again. So now that the shield is back up, he's going to be walking forward. He will be leading the charge into this last point. There is no EMP to worry about, so Team Envy should feel pretty confident about this. As Cloman getting taken very, very low. Self-destruct right on top of him. Once again, the shield is down. FaZe is going to be taken out, but no Zaryas on either side. This is still even. Earthshatter now coming from Trill. EMP going to follow right after that. Good ultimates from both sides, but the Earthshatter going to be doing more. The hard part about Buds' EMPs here is if 3 or 4 members are on the ground, they're not going to be following up that EMP without any damage.
Exactly. So, question of value again. Trill gets a great charge onto Orthic. That pesky Brigida down, however. Oh, gets the armor pack just in time. Now he has to take care of this pesky rodent. FaZe down as well. Can Envy push it?
Trill's so close to getting another Earthshatter for this fight, but Skyfoxes are still going to be losing members. Team Envy using that sound barrier to make sure that they can stay on this payload. It will be moving to the end here in just a second. Ellie going to be using that self-destruct. FaZe going to be taken down from it, sacrificing himself because he knew that was going to be the last thing for the round. Team Envy showing us that Hanamura might have been a little bit of a fluke.
Potentially. I again believe that Envy just, were forced onto a comp that they hadn't had as much practice with, and the communication and execution wasn't as smooth because, hey, they're on Goats. They weren't even running a Sombra, right? They just knew how to frustrate Buds. They knew how to keep him from getting those money EMPs. He loves to do it as an opener, right? We've seen time and time again. So they just open with their own. Let's throw in Shatter once again. Oh, yo, I just love watching Trill play, man. You can.
I think we all do. That guy's going to be a star. And if he's not, then we should write a petition. Change.org. Trill should be a star.
Exactly, exactly. Gold sticker and everything to prove it because he was that X factor. When Clone Man came up, we have to remember in the beginning of that very last fight, Skyfoxes had sound barrier. Got grabbed, barriered in, but Clone Man was melted. The moment Trill thought that his shield might break, you saw the way that the whole team sped in there with fire speed boost, enabled Trill to get that hammer damage in, and Clone Man was just vaporized. Nothing he could do, even with the help of the barrier. So, Envy just playing their cards very well.
Team Envy looks like a team that is going to compete not just for a playoff spot at this point in time. I know it's only been two weeks. This is only their second game, and we're not even done with the match yet. But what I've seen from Team Envy, I feel like they were missing for the first 3-4 games last season.
Every game except the last one, essentially.
Well, they picked it up near the end of the season. Team Envy, though, I think with Trill becoming like kind of a good identity for the team, they have something obvious to build around. And look how close they are. Oh my god, this is hilarious. The Skyfox is on the high ground. Team Envy literally right below them. So if Skyfoxes want to drop down, they're going to be dropping down into a really disadvantageous position. Oh no, but now no one knows what to do. This is not Overwatch you see every day. Skyfoxes make a good decision. What are you guys thinking? This is a position that they probably have not been in for a very long time. Skyfoxes will be getting this defense as part of Skyfoxes stay on the high ground, and that's going to be that Sombra and Anna pushing in a little bit of damage from the top. Skyfox is going to be winning this out. A little bit of a discombobulation there from both teams.
Even though he eventually gets booped off the map, Trill still finds the pin kill onto Orthic, and I think that kind of just sums up the whole feeling of this match so far. Envy, they had a really good plan right there, right? Hey, we hold up close, even if we lose it, we're going to get another bite at that point. A defense, and Skyfoxes, to their credit, threw Buds on the payload right away. Envy didn't have as much mobility, and Lastro was on the high ground, safe as that Ana, so there was not really a way that Envy could easily win that fight.
Graviton Surge is out. Beautiful purple coming out from Lastro. That purple is that biotic grenade that's going to keep the healing from going on to the rest of Team Envy. 4 members were affected by it, and all the members are affected by something that we like to call dying right before this point.
I prefer all expenses paid trip to respawn.
That's nice.
Skyfoxes will have that EMP again, and they're mad, man. They did not like that spawn camp on Eichenwald, and they have more time than Envy. You're right, pushing into Streets phase. So Skyfoxes, they have the Nano, they have the EMP, and Elivote, no sleeping, man. Your team needs your Matrix.
That's what you call a night terror, right? You wake up, and like right before you wake up, you like see exactly what you don't want to see. Just like Skyfoxes just saw a huge Earth Shadow rip right through them, but no one is down except for Trill right now. Lastro is down as well. 5v5. Elivote slept throughout the majority of that fight. Is going to get pinned. Elivote unable to do anything so far. Is still alive. Interesting that the Brig is going to go ahead and invest the armor pack into Elivote, so if they want to make sure that that finds value, Ellie has to find his way back into that mech, which he will. Skyfox is somehow not able to get more out of that fight.
They wanted to go for the better fight, didn't want to get the payload pushed all the way into their spawn again, so ceding a little bit of space. Now, Bud's still working up towards that EMP, but Clone Man ready with the Shatter. He's been frustrated and will again.
Beautiful boop, though, to make sure that Earth Shatter did not get anything, but it doesn't matter because Skyfox are going to be getting it anyway. You know, we talked about how defensive favored Rialto has been, but what we're seeing right now is the exact opposite as both teams getting through these first 2 points, which are, again, arguably are very difficult, maybe just for me in my games. But right now in these, both teams going to be locking up those 2 points potentially, but Team Envy do have an opportunity to defend.
Buds is an X factor for Skyfoxes, and Lastro is like the Z factor. 2 great sleeps on the best target you could hope for, taking that Diva out of the fight. That means you will land the grab, that means you will land these anti-nades, and he has a Nano once again.
The self-destruct is out, and it doesn't find anybody. They tried to make something happen with that self-destruct. There was no Graviton Surge to combo it, so maybe they're just hoping for the next one. Fisher is going to be hacked, and another good win from Skyfoxes on this attacking push.
Really, really like Lastro on this Ana. You get so much utility, and it enables your tank line, I think, is the biggest thing, because we saw when Clone Man was struggling, he gets an armor pack, but it's not enough. Ana can provide that burst healing in spades. Oh no, and Ellie now will get staggered. This is so bad for Envy's defense. He's got to throw himself into the face of his enemies, hope for a swift death. There we go. Because Envy will be fighting this next fight, potentially down a member.
Rough. I want a montage of Baby Divas getting staggered with super sad music.
In the arms of the angels.
An ASPCA commercial would be hilarious for Baby Divas. Team Envy have the Graviton Surge. They're not going to have a shield for much longer, so the Earth Shatter is going to be going down. There was no Trill shield, but Trill was the only one to be taken down from that Earth Shatter, so Clone Man definitely could have found a little bit more off of that Earth Shatter. Team Envy going to be taking advantage of that mistake. I think what happened there was like, we got to get Trill. Trill's good. We got to get him, and they put everything into him and forgot about everyone else.
I forgot about Fisher, who's like, yo, 5 kills. Okay, cool, I'll take it. So Envy looking a little bit more comfortable. They can certainly finally breathe for the first time this entire defense. Fire still has that sound barrier. Buzz actually hasn't been targeting Lucio's as much as the Zenyatta, which is pretty interesting. You can nullify an entire sound barrier by pressing Q for that EMP.
The rally is out. Jarry's going to get stunned at the beginning. Worthic hit very low. Amp it up. Oh, actually, the grenade is going to go through, and with the Amp it up healing, that's going to be very nice. The Earth Shatter from Trill going to be huge, just like he is. Team Envy.
Massive.
I know, this guy is a massive dude, man.
That is an absolute unit of a main tank right there.
I know Avast said it was dead, but I think if we have an example, this is what that would be.
Gigatrill right here.
Hey, I love it. Yeah, that's great.
So, all right, FaZe. All right. I think this is the second grab that FaZe has thrown that has caught just a goose egg.
You know, it's like when you buy a book because of its cover, or when you buy a game because of its box art, right? Sometimes you just like looking at it. And right now, FaZe really likes looking at empty grabs. They're going to really want this, but there's still 2.5 minutes. Self-destruct into the backline. Trill's going to get the kill first, and now it's 6v5 for Team Envy. Once again, they both Team Envy do have their support ultimates for Skyfoxes. Don't just yet. They do have a rally, so Team Envy should be expected to win this next fight. It's the one after this that they should be worried about.
Could be a little bit dicey. They don't want to use an ultimate to try and hold Skyfoxes in spawn, and really, though, good sleep. Envy are at their best when they are the ones pressing W, right? When they are controlling the tempo of the game. Skyfoxes now, they have ultimates, but haven't really had a chance to use any of them. Lastro might just throw this Nano onto Clone Man, see what he can get done here, because he's ready with that Shatter and has been frustrated all game.
Oh, goodness gracious. Orthic with the rally has to use it to make sure his team can get to the payload. Buds has EMP, so all those check marks you're seeing from Team Envy don't seem to matter. The Graviton Surge has been thrown out from Team Envy. The EMP is next. Now Earthshatter going to be followed from there. Skyfoxes have an opportunity now. Team Envy do have a chance to come back.
Yeah, gonna have to drop Sound Barrier or Trance sooner rather than later, but Skyfox is holding on to only one ultimate. FaZe will be close to his grab. You just gotta make sure to catch somebody in it. So, Envy coming in will proc that rally.
That is usually the goal for most ultimates. Team Envy going to be using the rally to get back onto the point. Trill's looking for a big shatter, and he is gonna find FaZe, but the sound barrier is gonna be enough to keep all of Skyfoxes alive. They're doing the right thing, giving them a little bit of space while their cooldowns do come back. They will engage here in just a second as Team Envy going to be running out of supports to use their ultimates for if Crimson Fire use these and they're unable to hold. Their sound barrier is out from Team Envy. Transcendence is the last thing to really save them. They're going to go ahead and layer those two on top of each other because the way that they're doing their ult tracking, Skyfoxes most likely doesn't have theirs just yet, and they are right as Horthic is down, and now Skyfoxes are going to be giving a little bit of space. 30 seconds left for Skyfoxes to make it to the end of Rialto.
They must re-engage. Ellie, though, close to the self-destruct, but Buds and Lastro coming into their own ultimates is going to be the showdown. Envy will have nothing to try and defend this with support ultimates. It's got to be that good old vanilla tank play.
Trill somehow still alive, gets the pin kill onto Max, so one less support on each side. Ellie being hacked with that little health, though, is very scary for Team Envy, but he's going to stay alive. The self-destruct is going to be there, so if he's behind, if they're able to combo any sort of kills into this, Fisher is going to get the grab as well, but he is hacked, so if he's able to get there, he's not going to be able to use it onto the payload just yet. The hack has to wear off. Clayman is going to be able to get a pin onto Ellie Vote, but no kills just yet. The Graviton Surge now coming from Fisher. Looks like it's going to be the end for Skyfoxes here on this map. Team Envy will be coming out on top 3-1. Good last fight from Team Envy. Team Envy looking amazing throughout a lot of this series. Hanamura never happened for you guys. We're just going to call that a mulligan. But wow, Envy dominant for 3 maps.
Wow is the right word, Boop. Skyfoxes had an opening. I don't know what Trill was doing in that tiny room. Maybe all the success just, go into his head a little bit because that is, you're Ryan like 1v1 with a Brig. That's not where you want to be hanging out, right? And he could have easily been the death knell for his team, and he was doing almost nothing, right? Just it caught in a duel while the rest of Skyfoxes was pushing up, but Ellie Vote was able to get back in mech. You cannot allow that to happen as the attacking team.
Look at those hands go,
yeah,
right? She really believes this, guys.
Yeah. Just really well played from Envy. Once again, it's not just about playing your game the best, but adapting to see how you can take advantage of the opportunities the opponents give you.
The one thing that Envy should work on, though, over the last week is they did struggle when they were behind, right? If they weren't creating the tempo, if Trill somehow doesn't get into the minds of their opposing team, they're going to struggle a little bit as Trill was able to flex upon flex. It's like his biceps had 3 other biceps during that game. Some good...
Jacked.
I know. Some good stuff. Giga Chad stuff,
Giga
right?
Trill, right? Yeah.
Giga Trill.
I mean, also...
I'm not cool enough to say that, I don't think. Like, whenever I say that, I'm just like, I don't think I can.
We'll play it safe then.
Okay.
But I also want to shout out Crimzo, Team Canada, not Team UK. But he was also that last, one of the last players standing, able to pick up those frags when his team desperately needed to get something done. So kudos to the backline as well. Team Envy all around looking really solid.
Really solid. Already at 2-0, matching their win-loss from last season. Their wins from last season already. And at this point, like I almost said it earlier, this is not a team that is competing for playoffs anymore. I think this team is competing for the whole thing. So Envy, let's see what you're going to be able to bring to the table in future weeks. Skyfoxes, again, you played good, but your opponent played amazingly well today. GG's to you guys, but we still got some more games on tap. We're going to see you guys after the break, and we're going to have Atlanta Academy versus Second Generation coming up next. See you soon.